The paper examines self-design, so when consumers go online and are able to customize in some way the products that they buy, research has shown, prior research has shown that people are willing to pay a premium for these types of products, presumably because they better fit their own tastes and preferences uniquely. And what we look at is whether or not that's the only factor that influences their evaluation. So what we found in the studies that we ran were that the designers of the default products, or the products that they compare theirs to, influences how they evaluate their own. We did two using LL Bean backpacks as the stimuli, and our participants came in and they were shown the backpack, the default backpack on the LL Bean site, and then they were given the opportunity to customize their own. And most of them chose to take that opportunity, so about 90% of them decided that they wanted something different than the alternative that LL Bean offered. What we manipulated was whether or not the default that they were initially shown was designed by a professional at LL Bean or by another consumer who had won a contest, essentially, to get that on the website. And when they designed their own and they'd seen the professionally designed default from LL Bean, they rated their backpacks lower than their own backpacks lower than when the default backpack had been designed by another consumer. And we've also found that if you provided guidance during the process, that mitigated that effect. We pre-tested this guidance to try and figure out what it was actually doing. So we had people who weren't in the main study come in and do the customization task, either with the guidance or without, and then we just had them rate the experience on multiple dimensions. And the guidance made them feel more competent during the task. It gave them a little more confidence in their abilities to design. It didn't affect their autonomy, the freedom that they felt when they were designing, and it didn't affect effort, the amount of effort it required. But it also could literally help reduce some of the cognitive costs. So it can help structure a task that may seem a bit overwhelming to an inexperienced designer, and literally make it easier to do, and hopefully help create a design that is more suited to the consumer who's doing it. The choice that the customization opportunities presents can be pretty overwhelming. If you think about all the different choices that you get to make in some of these scenarios, there's so many thousands of ways to be wrong, and some consumers may view it that way. There may be one ideal solution, but 10,000 wrong solutions. And I think it's both the cognitive costs of having to think through what this design should be, as well as the potential for regret. Was that the best one that I could have done? And recent studies on choice, a famous one is Iyengar and Lepper's work, shows that there is a downside to choice for a variety of reasons, and there's some popular press books on the topic as well. Consumers are starting to expect this once they know that the technology is capable of it, and they see websites like Nike ID where you can design your own shoes, to M&M's where you can design your own candy, even condiments. And once consumers become aware that these are options, their expectations across an even broader array of categories may increase too.